What is up, guys? It's your boy Torius, back again with another video. So I'm back again with another video. Today I'm gonna be talking about why we come here, right? Like, why are we on Earth? Like, what's the point? What is the point of all this stuff? Right? So smash the like button, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new. Let's get into it. All right. So a lot of times we question what is life, right? Like what is the point of all this? Like, it's a beautiful ass day today, right? Why would you question that? But we do, right? It's our human nature. Basically the whole point of us coming here, like, cause I was literally just thinking, cause every morning I wake up and make these videos and I think to myself, you know what should I talk about today, right? I mean, I don't think about it right when I wake up. Damn, it's such a nice day, bro. I don't think about it like right when I wake up, but I think about it like once I get in my car. It's like, damn, I gotta make a video. What am I gonna make it about, right? But I don't know, for some reason I was just thinking about, like, you know, the reason why we come to this planet. And so, like, what I you know, I read a lot of books, and one of my favorite authors is Frederick Dawson, right? He talks about like all this metaphysical shit and all the spirituality and all this stuff. And one of his books called The Lives of the Soul, he explains that we come here and we choose the difficulty, right? Like, the reason why we come here is because it's like, all right, I was basically understanding it as in, like, let's say that you want money, right? You're like, okay, I want some money. But then in order to get the money, you have to work a job, right? In order to get the money, which is what you want, so you can get something else, you gotta work a job, right? So what if it's like that for us, right? For Earth, like, we gotta go through Earth, and in order to get something in, like, the afterlife, like whatever else there is, right? In the afterlife, we come here on Earth. Like, if you ever seen the movie Soul, it's pretty much like that in Soul, right? Like, we come here to experience, like, oh, go experience Earth. You know, you gotta experience Earth in order to get what you want. Like, there's this comic I'm working on. It's called The Hunter, where it's basically about a dude in the Amazon, and he gets bitten by a whole bunch of ants, and he becomes a huge superhero, right? And what happens is, you know, like, basically it's the same concept, right? Like, in the Amazon, they get bitten by the bullet ants, and the reason why, like, why do they go through that? Like, why do they go through that pain? It's the rite of passage, right? The rite of passage is like, you get bitten by 100 ants, and then if you survive, like, you gotta do that shit 20 times, right? And if you survive, then you get to become a man, right? That's the reward. The reward is the recognition of the tribe that this dude is a man, right? It's just like gambling. If you want the money, you got to go through the uncertainty of not knowing if you're gonna win or not, right? It's the same thing as Earth. So the whole point of this video, the reason why I'm making it, is because if you're ever feeling down, right? Like, if you're ever feeling down and out, and you're just like, damn, bro, like, I hate it here, I want to leave, whatever, just understand that you chose everything, right? Like, you chose, like, if you ever watch Midnight Gospel, you see, you're just like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be this and that, I'm gonna come as this form, right? And then he goes to that planet, and then he's like that form. I only seen the first episode, but he basically just goes in one form, like, he's in one form, right? And he goes into the next form, and he comes to the planet, and he talks to whoever is there, right? And does a podcast with him. So what happens is, damn, that was such a fun time in my life, bro. You basically, cause like during Midnight Gospel, that was right after I did acid, right? And it's like funny because it's like it was literally just like my acid trip, and I was just like, damn. I tried watching it on acid, but it wasn't. It was whatever. Like, it was mid to me, whatever. You know, he comes to the planet and he goes into a certain form, right? So since he's in that form, like, it's the same with us. We choose our parents. We choose if our parents are gonna be dead or not, right? Like, we create our own realities. We chose our parents. We chose the school we go to. We chose the neighborhood we were born into. We chose our bodies. Right? I chose to look like this, right? I chose for this to happen, to all this stuff to happen to me, right? Like, shit on my nose or whatever. Like, my sense of style, like dressing, like wearing the shirt I got for free. But it's, you know, like, the thing is, it might not be right, right? Like I might be talking shit, a whole bunch of shit right now. But who knows? It's comforting. You feel me? Like, isn't that the whole point of religion? The whole point of religion is to like take away that whole. It's supposed to give you one less thing to think about, right? One less thing to worry about. Because if you're worried about dying, religion got you covered, right? Religion's like, all right, you're worried about dying, right? If you want to go to heaven, then do good. If you want to go to hell, then do bad. And you're like, all right, bet. So now you don't got to worry about, oh, what's gonna happen when I die? But guess what happens? Like when you don't worry about what happens when you die, you start thinking of a whole bunch of crazy shit, right? You're like, oh my goodness, what happens? Like, what happens? It's like a Band-Aid, right? Like, religion is like the Band-Aid that says, all right, this is what happens. All right, get to work, right? Because the thing is, if you're because it's like, when you think about it, especially when you do drugs and shit, like, you can get really sucked into that wormhole, right? You can get really sucked into that, oh, damn, like this universe, the world, the reality, right? You really get sucked into that, and it's like very overwhelming, right? So it that's how people end up in the loony house. You feel me? So yeah, it's comforting knowing that you chose all this stuff, right? Like, let's say that, like, a lot of times I'll be talking to a girl and then all of a sudden we just stop talking, and I'm just like, damn, like, and I think like it was something I did, it was something that happened, but then I think about it, I'm just like, you know what, I just came to this world knowing I'm a nigga that has this shit happen to him. So, and I started laughing at it, right? Because I'm just saying, you look at it from a bigger picture, right? Because the thing is, we get so sucked up in like, oh, this is my life, right? This is the one life that I live. This is my only life. But then it's like, if you look at it in a bigger picture, like, okay, like you kind of look from a higher scale, as in like, oh, okay, I chose this, right? This is my doing. Like, why else am I here, other than to like go through this shit? Like it's like life is on a track, right? Like right now I'm driving. When you drive, you're like on a track. You feel me? So it's like there's only one way to go. Obviously, you have free energy, like you have free will to go wherever you want. But you know what? Yeah, you have free will to go wherever you want, but that costs energy, right? And the thing is, like, you can do whatever you want, but it costs us energy to do whatever you want. You feel me? Like right now, I'm gonna go get a haircut. I can go to fucking Orlando, right? I can drive to like 4 hours away. I can drive to California right now if I wanted, right? But guess what? It's gonna take me energy. I could just go to the park and just go walk around or whatever. Like I can go do a whole bunch of things. I can go buy weed and just smoke it and just like do whatever, right? I do acid, and I can just do acid today, right? But it's like I can't do that because of my obligations, right? And yeah, all of our obligations are self-imposed, right? I was watching I listened to a podcast yesterday called Books Closed, and it was one where the host Andrew was he was interviewing his wife, right? And then she's like, oh, I don't understand why you have to do all these things. Like, these are all self-imposed things. Like, you don't have to do any of these things. Like, you don't have to do any of this stuff. And he's like, yes, I do. because it's like, what do you know, right? It's like, how could you possibly justify like, oh, I don't have to do these things? Like, as a tattoo, because the things I understand, because as a tattoo artist, it's like your work is your grind. You feel me? Like, you're your boss. You're the boss, right? So like whatever, like if you don't have any clients, then you're not gonna make any bread, right? For his wife, she was she worked in the hospital, so she can just like slack off all day and still get paid. You feel me? But as a tattoo artist, you gotta make the work. You gotta make it work. So it's like, yeah, all that stuff is on him, right? It's the same thing, because it's like we have all these obligations, and all these obligations are all self-imposed, because it's like no one else really, like no one's forcing us to do it, but we are kind of forced to do it, right? Because if we want to live and we want to be comfortable, then we have to be uncomfortable, and we have to do all these things that we're obligated to do. Like right now, I'm gonna go get a haircut. Like, you don't think I would love to just be around not having a haircut, just being myself and just be like, oh yeah, I'm like gross. I have all these like patches and shit on my head. Nah, you get a haircut. Look fine for the ladies, right? You feel me? So it's like, yeah. What was I saying? I don't remember. It's just comforting knowing, just like anytime that you're down, something bad happens to you, just be like, oh, okay, I chose this because this is gonna make me stronger, right? Yeah, it's hard to say that sometimes, but if you just laugh about it and you're just like, okay, I just already picked, I did this, right? This is my fault. My fault this happened. I guess it's a way of being accountable without being accountable, right? If you think about it. That's pretty much it. Like the video, comment below what you think, subscribe if you're new, and if you have any questions, just DM me on Instagram at Torius at 6 Feet Interviews, and I will catch you in the next one, and I'll make a video about whatever you want to ask me. So with that being said,